Woo. What's up, bro? Welcome back to another video. How to get a balanced physique. How to get a balanced physique. Something that I wish took serious early on in my lifting journey. I think a lot of us can attest to it for quite a while. Advanced lifters, I'm talking about 3 years up. We all had, not all, but a lot of us had a period in our journey. Our physique was not balanced, unbalanced. My first year of training, I only did arms, chest, shoulders, back when I felt like it. Completely neglected my lower body. And I paid the price. I paid the price for that. Started training my lower body second year into lifting. So I have taken 7-8 years of training experience and I'll compress it in a 10-minute video. You need to understand one thing. You need to train all of your muscles. There are no muscles that are supposed to be left behind, because if you do that, you are leaving some gains on the table. You need to train your chest, you need to train your shoulders, you need to train your back, you need to train your biceps, your triceps, you need to train your legs. Your legs consist of your quads, your hamstrings, your calves, and then you have all those other nitty-gritties like your glutes, your traps, but that's why your traps are part of your shoulders, your glutes are part of your legs. They get worked when you squat anyways. Forearms, you can actually train your forearms as well, but a lot of the time they also get worked when you're doing arms, but you can isolate them for the thickness, density, the growth. Compound exercises, you need to do compound exercises. What are compound exercises? Compound exercises are exercises that train multiple muscle groups at once. We have the big 5 of the compound exercises: bench press, military press, shoulder press, 2 dumbbell shoulder press, the squats, we have the deadlift, and then lastly we have the pull-ups. Now, what does the bench press train? The bench press does your chest. But remember, these are all compound exercises, so they don't just train one muscle. They're called compound exercises because they train multiple muscle groups, but each have a primary muscle which they train. So the primary muscle when you're bench pressing is your chest. And then we have the other muscles that are trained, your secondary muscles, tertiary muscles, whatever. And then we have triceps, which are a secondary muscle, and the shoulders. We also have the delts. Bit of your core too. And then with the military press, it's your delts. The main focus is your delts, but your triceps, forearms also get engaged. And then we have deadlifts. Deadlifts work every day, every single muscle in your body, except for your wiener. Deadlift works. Deadlift works. When I say every single muscle, not so much the chest, but everything else. So that means your shoulders are engaged, your back, your core, your legs, pretty much everything. And then you have the squats. Squat works for your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes, also your core. And then we have pull-ups. Pull-ups, it's your shoulders and your back. Those are what you call the compound exercises. And then how to split these training days and how to do it. This is what I do. I have splits. I don't believe in the bro splits where you're doing one muscle per workout. I don't believe in the bro splits, all that nonsense where you're training one muscle. Imagine if you're driving to the gym. You're driving to the gym. Some people go to gyms where they live 45 minutes from. You're driving to the gym to train one muscle. One. Are you okay in the head? Bro splits is garbage. It's nonsense. I did it in the beginning, but yeah, it wasn't as effective as what I'm about to give you. Okay, let's get to it. So, this is what I'd do as a beginner. I would have chest, triceps with some core. Chest, triceps with some core. You could even throw in some arms there. The bench press is your compound movement on that day. You can also add a whole bunch of other exercises for your chest, as well as your triceps, as well as your biceps and your abs. So this video is just focusing on the compound exercises. We could get into the nitty-gritty of all the other arm exercises, shoulder, chest exercises, but I'm giving you a base here, something to work with. Do your own research when it comes to the other ones. And then day 2, what I would do, I would go shoulders and back. What's the shoulder exercise that we spoke about? Military press or dumbbell shoulder press. And then for your back, there's some pull-ups. Don't neglect those two, add the others as well. And then we have our legs, which is our quads, our hamstrings, and our calves. Squats for your quads, hamstrings, glutes. Squats, yeah. And then you can train your calves as well. Also, do your research. And then what I'd do is I would repeat day 1, day 4, repeat day 2 for day 5, and then repeat day 3 for day 6. So that's for someone that is super keen for gym. Beginner, but if you're a beginner, let me just make a disclaimer. You need to make sure your recovery is 100. You need to take your creatine, make sure that you're sleeping enough, track your macros, and just eat, bro. Just eat. It can really work well for you if you do that. But if you don't take your recovery seriously, you're wasting your time. I would rather just, instead of training for 6 days, honestly, I'll just do the 3 days like that and not repeat it again, honestly speaking. And then as a beginner, because if you're a beginner and you're doing it that way, you're still going to put on some decent size, because your body is not used to training, so it's getting enough shock from that. But if you've been lifting for a bit longer, you will realize that you now need to train muscles more frequently in order for them to grow, because you reach a point where they plateau. But anyways, and then don't forget to train your abs on those upper body days. Whichever upper body day, honestly, it doesn't matter. I don't train abs on leg days, I train them on upper body days, but hit them 2, 3, even 4 times a week. And then there's another split that I used to do that consists of chest and back, shoulders, biceps, triceps, and legs. Same thing, guys. Your compounds, do not leave them out. Do not leave your compound exercises out. So it's up to you whether you can do the 3-day split, 6-day split, or even have a 5-day split. The 5-day split, this is what I'd do on a 5-day split. What I would do is day 1, still chest, back, core. Day 2, what I'd do is shoulders, biceps, triceps. Day 3, I'd train legs. 3, I'd train legs. Day 4, I'd repeat day 1. But instead of actually just focusing on chest and back or shoulders and arms, I would do all of those muscle groups, but with 1 or 2 exercises of each muscle group, so you don't overtrain and you don't end up spending 3-4 hours in the gym. Still gonna help you. And then day 5, I'll do legs again. Train your legs twice a week. Train your legs, I would say, especially if you don't have the best leg genetics and you know your legs are stubborn, train them at least twice a week, especially if you're spending more than 3 days in the gym. Try. Actually, don't try. Train your legs twice a week, or else you will look like Johnny Bravo. Do you want to look like Johnny Bravo? I think that's why I didn't even get Hasbury. He wasn't training his legs. Who wants a guy that doesn't train their legs? Yeah, that's pretty much it. If you don't neglect those compound exercises, you're going to grow. Also try having compound exercise dominance workouts. What do I mean by that? If you are training your chest, so a compound exercise is, again, the bench press. Okay, I'll give you 2 more because I care about you bros so much and I want you guys to get big or jacked or shredded, whatever, just look good. Anyways, the second one is dips. Dips for your chest. That's when you lean forward, you have your hands on a dip bar. It's called a dip machine or a dip bar, and you're pushing yourself up. You're coming down, pushing yourself up. Make sure to sort of lean forward with that one. And then we also have the dumbbell press, which is, you know, you get a couple of dumbbells and you press up, and then yeah, you can add maybe an isolation, you know, chest movements in the end. Yeah, just the compound exercise, Jez. I cannot stress that enough. You don't need a bunch of machines. You could be at a gym. The gym that I'm training at now doesn't have any machines. All I'm using is dumbbells and barbells. And I think I look better than I did when I was doing all that science-based garbage. I still did compound exercises, but not as much as I am now. And then for your shoulders, we have, okay, for your shoulders, it's a more complex, but we still have the shoulder press, and then we will have the, okay, the pull-ups are also, you know, but it's back dominated. Your back, I'd say deadlift on your back day, because it's your lower back, your upper back, your traps, everything when you're deadlifting. And then you have the pull-ups again, and then we have the barbell rows, also have the T-bar rows. Those are all compound exercises. And then for your legs, it's squats, Bulgarian split squats, broad jumps, hack squats. There's a bunch of those, and if you do it that way, see some gains, good gains. If you also rest, if you eat properly, and if you recover. You don't have to overcomplicate it. You don't need a bunch of, you know, all that garbage. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Till next time.